Ramble.
Thank you to HomeGoods for sponsoring this episode of You Can Sit With Us. Check out your local HomeGoods for amazing quality items at unbeatable prices. Also, thank you to BetterHelp, Huzzah, PayPal, and Allbirds for sponsoring this week's episode.
Hi, guys. How is everybody today? I am Ariel. You know me. And I am joined by the other two people that you know very well. We have Becky.
Hi.
And Maggie.
Hello.
And we are your hosts for You Can Sit With Us, the podcast that you may or may not have chosen to listen to today. And it may have just, I don't know, come up on your thing because you're subscribed, which you should be subscribed to our podcast. Because then when you get in your car and you plug it into the CarPlay, it'll just play. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that about the podcast that I'm subscribed to. Anywho, we got a good show for you guys today. We're going to do a what is it and why, because I have been looking on the TikTok and I got some questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire them off. What you got, Ma?
Well, you guys, I opened up TikTok the other day, which is kind of a big deal for me. If you guys have been listening, you know that I watch Instagram Reels instead of TikTok. For reasons that I really don't understand. I think my finger just goes to Instagram. I haven't like gone through the trouble of putting TikTok on my homepage, so I have to search for it in my phone, which is just enough effort that I haven't done it yet. So I just watch Instagram Reels. I get sucked in.
You like it all concise in one place.
Yeah, I do. But I was convinced by you guys the other day that I needed to like work on the algorithm. The algorithm in TikTok would start feeding me things that I actually wanted to watch. And I was really jealous that Becky and Matt were getting laundry talk. And I was like, I want that. You know, I went out to dinner with Matt the other day and we were talking about like TikTok and he was telling me about all these great things that he gets. And I only get mom talk on Instagram Reels. And so I'm like, I'm a little bored of this. It's all the same stuff. Oh, because I had the funniest song in my head. Do you guys hear the TikTok song? It's like, bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.
I've heard
bitch,
that one.
you doing a good job. Oh my God. That was going through my head all for like 5 days or something like that. I was like taking a shower and shaving my legs and I was like, bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. I was like thinking that to myself, everything that I did. It made me so happy. What sorts of things were you watching that had that on there?
I think I was scrolling on my Explore page on Instagram is when I heard it, actually.
Yeah. Maybe it's not a talk thing. Maybe it's an Instagram Reels thing.
Maybe. It was someone who was like listing off all the productive things they did that day.
Yeah. Like journaled, had a smoothie. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Oh, it just makes me so happy. I just love that. What do they call them? They call them like TikTok music clips or something like that.
What's in your head right now, Becky?
On TikTok?
Yeah. What sound clip? One's been in my head all weekend.
I don't have one. What you got?
Oh, that one's cute.
What's that?
It's usually just, they pair it with like dogs.
Yeah.
It's like an animal
Usually-
jumping.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us.
Oh yeah. So I opened up the app, which I think I will go to the trouble of putting it on my homepage so that I can get my algorithm going so that I can get the good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I want the good.
Yeah.
And I think I am ready for the talk.
Okay.
Ladies. This is a big day.
Yeah.
This is a big day. But anyway, I opened it up last night. I was served one of Ned's TikToks, which fair enough.
Good job.
Checks out.
Yeah.
And then I got something about animals. And then I got somebody, it was like a nail TikTok. Okay. It was a woman who clearly does like acrylic nails, you know, the ones that you, not the stick-on ones, but the ones that like you do with like the gel, right? The acrylic gel.
Yeah.
And somebody had told her to make acrylic nails with popcorn.
What?
And she did. and they were amazing. Basically, she had like a short nail, and then she took like the glue and she stuck a piece of popcorn on it, and then she stuck another piece of popcorn on top of that, and then she, covered it in the acrylic glue, and then she ground it down, and then she had a single talon nail that was popcorn floating in like the clear gel, and it was amazing.
That's so cool.
Wow. It was amazing. I had no idea that you could do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how? Also, why?
I've seen some crazy stuff. I've been served nail TikTok stuff as well. I think I've
Really?
seen like mini fingers.
What?
Yeah. I think I've seen like
Wait, explain.
it's coming to me vaguely, but someone I follow reposted it and it was like little fingers. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to have to find it back in my history, but
Like
they do some wild stuff on nail TikTok.
Wait, like somebody bought a tiny finger and put
It's
it.
like they made it out of some sort of like prosthetic glue, but you've seen like the crazy stuff that people do. I feel like nail art.
This is the only crazy thing I've
nail
ever
art
seen.
has exponentially exploded just from.
Wait, for some reason, I can only imagine tiny dicks. I don't know why.
I'm sure dick charms are definitely.
I do not know why. Well, because I feel like I can't imagine somebody drawing a tiny finger on their finger. Like, why would you put a tiny finger on your finger?
Meta. It would be meta.
And it would also look a lot like a tiny dick.
Maybe that's the point.
Dick or finger.
Dick
the
or
new
finger.
siblings are dating.
tongue in cheek, literally.
So weird. So I was listening to the TRYPOD this morning, and they had started talking about Jeff Bezos and his like space exploration, and how they did not mention one time how that spacecraft looked like a penis and balls. I feel like that's all I saw.
Yeah, it was very phallic.
Unreal. I feel like if you are creating your own spacecraft, at least try not to make it look like a penis.
What would you make it look like if you had all the money in the world, Ariel, and you wanted to fly to space? What would your...
That's a great question. Well, I feel like I have to say, first of all, I would not spend all my money on flying to space.
For like 5 minutes.
Right.
And you didn't even
Exactly.
really go to space, Jeff Bezos. I'm calling it out. You like touched the outer rim. Go grow
In
up,
your
Jeff.
penis rocket.
Grow up, Jeff.
But if I were like forced to go to space for some reason and spend all my money to do that, let's see. The first thing that comes to mind is like a frog, like making a frog jumping into space.
I don't know if that's the most aerodynamic, but I like.
It'd be
I
fun.
like where you're
It'd be
going.
fun. It'd be
Kind of
fun,
look like a jump. Ooh.
right? Yeah, or like a unicorn. And then,
Yeah.
and then you could maybe have like when the jet blasters blast, maybe you could have them blast like rainbow colors. So then you've got
I
a
love
unicorn flying into space on a rainbow.
Ooh.
Yeah. What would your spacecraft be?
I feel like I'd want it to look like a giant squishmallow.
What's a squishmallow?
It's those like stuffed animals that don't have necks. They just
Cute.
look like marshmallows.
Yeah.
Some sort of chubby,
imagine
adorable thing going up into space.
Is it like,
like
Ned's chicken thing?
Yes.
The chicken pillow?
Yes.
Was a squishmallow?
Talking about chicken noodle.
Chicken noodle. Chicken noodle.
Yeah, we love that thing.
You still have it?
We do not have the original, the
Who has
OG
it?
chicken noodle. No, that thing fell apart because Ned made it and then gave it to Wes. And, I feel like one thing led to another. But a fan actually made a much more substantial chicken noodle that was slightly smaller and sent it to us. Actually, they made, I don't know if you've seen this, Becky, but the same person that made a Keith doll and a Becky doll.
And I have a little Alfred and a crop top. I was like,
Wow.
this person knows me.
And Keith was holding an empty
Hot sauce bottle.
chicken sauce jar.
Empty.
I do. So it was such a weird thing.
It was so cute.
What Ned was cleaning out his desk at the other office, and he found this box that a fan had sent, and Wes was like, "Let's open it." And I was like, okay. I mean, there's only a very slight chance that there's going to be something bad in here. So we opened it, and yeah, there were 4 stuffed animals inside, handmade stuffed animals.
Yeah.
One of them was Chicken Noodle. One of them was Becky.
Yeah.
One of them was Keith, and one of them was
Horse.
The gay horse.
Yeah.
It was gay horse. It was very strange.
You know what they also made? It's very cute. He didn't play with it yet, but so they made a little baby Alfred for me, and then they made catnip in fried chicken in a bucket.
That's cute.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
That's really cute. Yeah, we took it home. I was like, Alfred, you got fried chicken.
That is so cute. Yeah. But so now Wes has that chicken noodle that is much better made, I feel like.
The superior chicken
It's
noodle.
a superior chicken noodle, and it's slightly smaller. The other chicken noodle was enormous.
Yeah.
Like maybe you guys didn't really get the gist of it on camera, but it was like the size of a man's torso.
Oh my God.
And this one is like, child size. Yeah, much better.
If you're working out, chances are you're already wearing synthetic fabrics made from oil. Yes, that oil. The primary culprit in the global climate crisis is also the main ingredient in your favorite performance apparel, but it doesn't have to be. Allbirds found a more sustainable way with their new collection of natural run apparel. So I just received these leggings in the mail. I love how soft and buttery they feel. These are super comfortable, and I'm happy wearing them knowing that they're not made out of bad materials that are bad for the environment. The natural legging, along with the rest of Allbirds' natural run collection, focuses on natural materials with supernatural qualities using as little synthetic fabric as possible. Rigorously tested, the natural leggings are ready for every squat, stretch, and stride. And sustainable materials like eucalyptus fiber help keep you cool and dry naturally. With Allbirds' Natural Run collection, nature is making a comeback. Shop the collection today at allbirds.com. That's ALLBIRDS.com.
And so then what would your spacecraft look like?
I don't know.
A lipstick.
Yeah, I guess just what a normal rocket would look like. I've never been interested in space.
That's fair.
I've never thought about it. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the ocean. It's a little spooky.
It's a little spooky.
Yeah. There's something out there.
I agree.
They're trying to say hi.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'll let you do you. I'll do me.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay down here.
I'm going to stay down.
You do your thing up there.
Sleeping
I'll
in
see you
space
soon.
sounds like it just terrible. My face needs to be
On a
on
pillow.
constant contact. I know there's a way they like strap them in, but it's not like
I know.
the real thing. Come on. I would never sleep up there. I'd just be like, I just want to sleep. You like know how it's like falling asleep in cars and your neck's like crack.
Yeah.
Or on
totally.
planes
Yeah,
and
totally.
you can't like fully lay down.
Yeah,
It's
I've
the
always-
worst.
I've always like in movies, sometimes they make it so that the spacecraft has gravity, and sometimes they don't. And I always find it so interesting. Like I did figure it out recently with that show with there was a space show recently.
Is it the Hillary Swank show?
Yes, Hillary Swank.
Yeah.
There's a Hillary Swank show. And they like took a little bit of time to explain how the spacecraft had gravity. And it was because of centrifugal force, because the spacecraft was spinning. And so it was able to create like a sense of gravity because that's, I believe, no,
It's
gravity
like
does not work that way.
That fair ride. Do you ever go on that? where
Gravitron.
Yeah. And you spin around and then the floor drops out and you're just
And
pressed
you try
against.
to like move your head, but your head is like so squished to the sides of the wall. It's nauseating.
That sounds dangerous.
It's nauseating.
I've only ever heard of it.
You never went on it. Are you
Oh.
strapped in?
No, it's just going so fast that you like stick to the walls. I hated it. I hate spinny rides, but I was somehow convinced by probably.
Would you spin up against other people?
No, it's spinning so fast that everyone just sticks to the walls. It's not a comfy wall either.
It's just like
hard.
a wood wall, plywood,
And
like at a state fair. Or something.
And you know it's like you're going to start sticking because all the planks go up and you're just like,
I feel like you could like break a bone or something.
Probably.
No.
it's really hard to move your head when you're spinning that fast. Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to like I'm looking at you, Becky.
I know
Have you
you
ever
are.
been to like a state fair?
No.
Really?
No. My family was like, we are not going to carnivals. You're going to get kidnapped.
I think you sent me a TikTok of someone like
There was
on a kiddie coaster, like being. Is that the one you sent it to me, right?
Well, there's one. It was on the news like a couple weeks ago. There was a basically like one of those ship rides that goes like left, right,
and then over.
And so it was doing that, but it wasn't like strapped in properly because these are like things that you put down and take down and put up. And so every time it spun, it was rocking back and forth, and they had to like finish out the ride. All these people from the fair like ran over
to hold it down,
holding on to the side of it. So that every time, and it was like probably like 25, 30 people were holding on to it.
Wait, why couldn't they just stop the ride?
I don't know. It's probably just like once you start it, there's no turning back. You just, it has to complete the cycle.
Yeah. It was so scary. I was like,
just pull the plug on that thing.
Yeah. I've seen Final Destination 3. Is that what the carnival?
Oh my gosh,
was?
the one where the ladder hits the eyeball? Oh no, that's the roller coaster one.
Wait, it's the roller coaster one.
Is this like one of those what do we call them? Dad movies?
I don't think Final Destinations aren't dad movies. No.
What would you consider Final Destinations?
Critically acclaimed.
I've always wanted to watch the Final Destinations because I was fascinated by the premise of
I don't think you'll like it. It's
of like
really
your
gory.
number is up.
It's like bodies.
She likes.
I'm okay with gory.
though.
Ned hates gory.
Yeah.
And so I don't watch it because I don't want to watch gory movies by myself, like literally in a room by myself, because Ned will refuse to watch it. Yeah. And so that's probably why I haven't seen them. But I really am truly fascinated by that, like that premise. And the fact that they've made 3 of them means that at least one of them must be really good.
Oh, girl, they made like 5.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
There's so many Final Destination movies. Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't been over to the Li Yang's house. Eugene's favorite thing is putting it on YouTube and just watching everyone and starts like maniacally laughing as soon as something bad happens. Yes, he'll watch your reaction.
Oh my God. I clearly don't go over there enough. And I don't know, maybe I hang out with my kids too much because you can't
Your
put that
mom.
stuff on when
You
can't put that on.
No.
Yeah.
But I think you'd like it a lot. The first one I would say is a traditional, like it was trying to be a scary movie.
Like a horror movie.
And then as they went away, they became more like camp and a little more meta too.
So which one do you recommend?
Well, I love the OG. I think the OG is great. There are a lot of really good actors in it. And then
I also remember that about it.
Yeah.
Is that like most of the actors were very cute.
Yeah,
and
I think
was
it's
like,
Devon's that one.
this is gonna be an awesome movie.
That one's really good. I feel like the second one was still pretty good. That's the one where they're like, they all start with a big catastrophe that someone sees happen.
Right.
And then that person says, we can't do this. We can't, one of them was like, they were driving and then these big things of lumber flew in through the car.
Oh, what?
And then, so they go, no, we can't go. Don't let the plane take off. And they leave, but you can't cheat death.
Right.
Death's going to come after you, one
That
after
is
the other,
so
after the other.
fascinating.
And death sometimes skips people and goes back, and it's very,
What?
very cray-cray.
And so do they sort of, do they try to make a character of death? Or is it more like just sort of this axe hanging over your head?
It's always something like hanging over your head where you're like, I know death is coming. And sometimes there's like a song where death is coming, like it'll play on the radio, or like you'll hear something like staticky, and that's how you know that death is on his way.
Oh my God, I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But by like the 4th or 5th Final Destination, like they used to explain really in depth, like, there was this flight that was going to, I think it was Paris. There's a flight that was going to Paris with all these kids on it. But one kid saved everyone, or saved like 15 people, and then they slowly died. By the 5th movie, they're like, I Googled this, and this is what's happening. It's like a 1-sentence understanding of how death is coming for you.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think you'd really like it.
I think I'd really like it
really
too.
fun.
I think I'd really like it.
Yeah.
I think this is our time to talk about Dante's Peak, which is my new favorite movie, guys.
So for some context, we were in a hot tub a couple weekends ago talking about...
As you do.
As you do. Talking about the temperature at which we prefer our water. And I made an offhand comment that I liked my water as hot as it was for the grandma in the lake in Dante's Peak.
And pretty much
everyone knew about Dante's Peak. No, everyone turned and was like, what? What are you talking about?
Not of like one of those popular movies for everybody, but for Becky,
For me, it was
life-changing.
Life-changing. It was one of what's her name's only other movies other than Terminator. We found
Maggie,
out.
you're
I'm
looking
sitting
at me
here-
like you don't know what this is.
I'm
See,
sitting
Maggie
here with
doesn't know either.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So
Okay.
Dante's Peak is a hit film from the
It has Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce
in it.
Brosnan.
So that
I think
sold
it's
me.
yeah.
The second the second Becky said that it has Pierce Brosnan in it, I said we're watching it
Yeah.
right now.
Pierce Brosnan, I think Linda Hamilton is the name of the girl. She plays Sarah Connor in the
she's like-
Terminator series.
Just super 80s.
The premise is Pierce Brosnan works for the, as we kept joking because he says it so often, the U.S. Geological Survey.
He's a geologist, a volcanist.
A volcanologist. Cool. And so he goes to this town where Dante's Peak is.
It seems like it's in like Northern California.
Yeah.
It's like
Volcanic?
It's just
in
like
the
a
west
small
somewhere.
town. Yeah. They have this active
Could
volcano.
be anywhere, but like cute small town.
Okay.
Yeah. And then weird stuff starts happening. The water gets acidic. There's some rumbles here and there.
Fish are dying.
Fish are
Birds are
dying.
leaving.
People are like burning alive at one point, and nobody really batted an eye at that one.
Yeah, they had like a hot spring and
Yeah.
and like it's the sulfurous lava came into the hot spring and the people just like immediately burned alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just got crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would categorize it as a dad movie. So a movie that
Well, actually, I dive into that a little bit. Dive into this dad movie genre because I would call that like a B movie.
okay, like a not so good movie, but a good movie.
Yeah, I truly enjoy B movies. I find them to be a little campy and like a little fun. And Ned and I used to watch B movies all the time. You know, when they would come up on Netflix, like the just sort of like new in, and they're from 10 years ago, and you're like, oh, a new movie. But no, it's like, there was one movie about Pompeii. Wait, I'm seeing a theme here.
Do you like
Did you
volcano
guys
movies?
watch Pompeii? Because that is the other sort of B movie that comes up for me that I also really enjoyed.
Ariel secretly want to be a volcanologist?
I mean, I did go to a college that was very into geology.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see a parallel between interior design and rocks, stone.
Volcano.
Volcano. Okay. I see where you're going here. I see where you're going. Okay, so what are some other dad movies?
So yeah, a definition of a dad movie.
Yes, go on.
I would say it could be a brother movie, an uncle movie. It doesn't have to be your dad. But it's typically a movie that nobody else wants to see other than an older male in your life. It's a movie that has very limited appeal to anyone other than like a 45-year-old man.
No. Okay, Maggie, do you know of any of these movies?
I'm trying to think of things my dad always wanted to shove down our throats.
Action-y type movies?
Yeah, they're usually like big sort of blockbuster movies that don't necessarily have the greatest plot of all time, but there are a lot of like stunts and
Like,
a lot
like
of action.
2012
2012
or Twister.
Yeah.
Twister.
I want to say Mission Impossible, but Mission Impossible, the most recent one, it's a good movie.
I don't think that being a bad movie
Not a
immediately,
qualifier.
not a qualifier,
Yeah.
not a qualifier. I think that even good movies could be dad movies. It's just when they're about 5 years old, it's like a blockbuster from 5 years ago. Now it's a dad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to focus on yourself and see what you need, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can connect in a safe and private online environment, and you can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not self-help, it's professional counseling done securely online. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, all without ever having to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. There's a broad range of expertise available, and it's more affordable than traditional counseling. Anything you share is confidential. They offer licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, stress, relationships, sleeping, trauma, family conflicts, and many more. So many people have been using BetterHelp. They're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states, and I want you to start living a happier life today. And as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/sitwithus. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/sitwithus.
So Mission Impossible for sure.
Dad movie.
100%.
Oh yeah, Gemini Man starring Will Smith.
Never heard of it. The Bourne movies, I feel like could be dad
Bourne
movies.
movies could be a dad movie. Oh yeah, but I think those might be a little good for a dad movie. At least the first few.
Too good? Maybe they're just too new. Maybe when they're
Maybe
older,
too
they'll
new.
be dad
Yeah, maybe they're
movies.
like dad movies are like specifically like late 90s
Yes.
flicks where
Yeah,
there's
I
like
get that.
hilarious graphics.
Yes. I mean, this one, it was so good. It was so like, it was
love
just
the way
exactly what you
passionate about.
It was exactly what you wanted to be watching because there were so many. It was like it was just old enough to that parts of it were a little kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, like the hairstyle on the mom was a little funny because it was just so like 90s.
It was specific.
It's very specific. She had bangs.
Okay.
And like, but like, you know, the big bangs.
Okay. Swoopy bangs.
Yeah, the swoopy bangs. And I don't know.
She was the mayor, but also worked / owned a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So
she's like
commissary.
slinging coffee at the general store, but she's also the mayor.
mayor.
Oh
she's
my
wearing like a
gosh.
power suit and like running out the door. She's got her 2 kids.
Oh, she has kids too?
She,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
she's got 2 kids and she's divorced. And her ex-husband's mom lives at the top of the volcano and like so this is how this whole thing came about with Becky talking about how she wants her water as hot as volcano water.
There's a climactic moment that in my head was like 8 minutes long. I was like, she goes across the whole lake.
Well, okay, so Pierce Brosnan drives up. The mom leaves the kids at home while there's ash falling to the sky, from the sky.
Yeah.
You know, cool. You guys stay here. But they are trying to get a hold of their grandma who lives at the top of the volcano.
And she doesn't want to leave.
She doesn't want to leave.
She loves her town.
She's like, I'm not leaving my mountain.
Okay.
The mountain's not going to kill me. And everybody else is like, oh, the mountain is for sure going to kill you.
For sure. It's an active currently erupting volcano. The water is acid.
And so this like probably 10-year-old boy hops in their old pickup truck, grabs his sister, and they start driving up the active volcano
To get grandma.
to get grandma. And so they make it to grandma's, but as they're, you know, going up there, Pierce Brosnan and the mom are like, where did my kids go? Oh, they went up the mountain to get grandma because they left a note, of course. And so then they follow the kids up the active volcano
Oh my God.
in their like Jeep Wrangler. And they all meet up at Granny's cabin.
Yes.
And Granny is finally realizing, oh fuck, we're all about to die. And so they try to drive down the mountain, but cannot because there's lava, like literal lava.
The floor is literal
melting
lava.
the wheels of their Jeep Wrangler. And so they all climb into a boat
a
to cross
metal
a
boat
lake.
to cross this water, like a small, like probably like not very thick boat.
Yes, yeah, it's a dinghy,
A dinghy,
basically a little fishing boat.
So they're crossing, and they realize, oh no, it's melting. The acid is melting the boat.
The acid has, and like they're probably 10 feet from the dock.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the acid melts the propeller.
Yeah.
On
the
motor.
So then they're taking their shirts and they're trying to row with these shirts. And finally, grandma's like, I got to do it for my family. And she jumps out of the boat. And again, when I was little, I thought it was like an 8-minute scene. I thought they were halfway across the river. They were like 2 feet from the dock. This was a 10-second scene. In retrospect, she did not need to get out of that boat. They could have absolutely made it. The extra feet. They could have kept floating and they would have made it. But she gets out and she's just like, like she's all being burned because she's in acid water.
She's literally being acid
and so she
burned
gets
from the
everyone to
chest
safety.
down.
Yeah, gets everyone to safety and she just lays. And then the grandma's like, in her last moments, like, I'm so sorry for my son running out on you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. It's like this very climactic moment where like very emotional. She's like, I'm sorry, my son was a dick.
And you're like, oh, okay.
We never talked about that.
Okay.
Could have just left that out there.
Yeah.
And then she's like, leave me on my mountain.
She's taken with her mountain.
Yeah. The mountain takes
Wow.
her.
But Ariel I was just shocked because I knew Ariel liked scary movies and like fantasy movies, but the deep love Ariel has for Dante's Peak now is
Wow.
So fun.
She was talking about it for days.
Okay, my question is,
Yes.
you like hot water?
Wait. Let's circle back here. You like your water to be volcano hot?
I like hot water.
You do.
That surprises me because I feel like
that
you're all
surprised
about
me.
like skin health.
Yeah.
And hot water is so bad for your skin.
Mine's doing fine.
Peggy's like,
I'm moisturized.
that's fair.
I like room temp water, and people always shame me. They're like, room temp.
Wait, you like to bathe in room temp?
You shower in room temp water?
Oh, you guys are talking about, I thought you meant drinking water.
No, because we were in the hot tub.
We were sitting in the hot tub.
I see.
Yeah.
Becky likes to boil. in
I
her
like my
To
water
be a
to be
little
the
lobster.
same temperature as a perfect day. So like when you enter the water, it's the
72.
same.
Yeah, 73 and sunny?
Yeah.
or are you talking about the same temperature as your body? Because if you get into 72 water, it's going to feel really cold because your body is 98.
Yeah.
So you are probably looking for
Like
98 temperature water.
Probably.
Because then there is no difference between the water and your body.
Yes.
But usually the temperature in a hot tub is in the hundreds. So that's why it feels so hot.
Late 90s.
Yeah. Even just like two, temperature clicks above your body temperature feels really, really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned on, just bring up John Oliver again. We did it last week, but he was doing an episode about prisons not having air conditioning units. And a fact I learned was that if it's very, very hot outside, hotter than your body temperature, that you should not put a fan on because you shouldn't be circulating air that's hotter than your body temperature. It's dangerous for you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So just sitting in the heat is better than
Circulating.
because they were talking about how to in this episode about the prisons, how they were cooling people down, and they were saying, oh, but we have all these fans, but it was like in Texas and it was like over 100 degrees.
Wow.
So people are getting like heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and like if you have heart problems, it like is a
Can
whole
exacerbate
bad
that.
thing. Yeah. But I learned that and many other things from that episode.
I wonder if it's like, when you're at the beach and it's cold, but it's still sunny, and you're like, and it's, you don't think about how sunny it is and like how your skin is getting too much sun when it's cold out, because, you're used to being at the beach when it's hot. And so you're like slathering on sunscreen and, you can sort of feel the sun burning your skin, that sort of thing. But when it's cold, you don't really feel that. I feel like it could be a similar thing with heat and fans, where you don't like, you've got this sort of fan that's moving the air over your body, and so you feel cooler, but you're still you're just circulating hot air, so you're still your body's still very hot.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's very interesting. But going back to Dante's Peak,
Go for it.
while we were watching it, every single person in that room fell asleep except for me.
Keith stayed with you.
Keith stayed
up.
Okay, good.
I woke up for the grandma part.
Because
but then went
I
right back.
remember turning around and looking around, and everyone was like just sort of mildly snoring. I was like, guys,
Excuse me.
come on. This is the best movie ever. It was really good. It was a really good movie.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday. It's just like a DVD.
I would hope that you would spring for a Blu-ray, but
A movie poster, some merch,
yeah, I'm gonna need some merch. I'll get it framed. We'll
photo
put
of
it
a
up.
volcano.
Well, should we move on? I think we have a segment today.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it from just the kibitzing, but
It wasn't just a Dante's Peak episode.
right, exactly. We are doing a Dear Abby segment. So Dear Abby was, I think, somebody from it was like you would write into a newspaper, and she would write back. And I don't think it's just advice, right? It's just life advice.
This is from 1990. Dear Abby, what's the difference between a wife and a mistress? Bess. And
That's it?
Abby says, Dear Bess, night and day.
Is that it?
That's it. That
She
was the
just said
advice.
night
She's right.
and day.
She's right. Night and day.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I would say that is a
I could see
difference.
like opening up my local paper and seeing that and being like, oh,
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was good. I like that one.
But also didn't answer the question.
I mean, night and day.
Yeah, I suppose.
Very apples and oranges. What's in a question though? I feel like that question was kind of like a duh. I would be like, if I was Abby, I would say, which one are you, Bess? And then you'll know.
And then let me tell you.
You'll know.
Because 1990, this is pre-Google it.
I know. Google.
Google it.
Google it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this one's a weird one. Dear Abby, I know boys will be boys, but my boy is 73 and he's still chasing women. Any suggestions? Annie. Dear Annie, don't worry. My dog has been chasing cars for years, but if he's ever caught one, he wouldn't know what to do with it.
Oh my gosh. She's amazing.
Her boy is 7. So she's saying her husband is 73?
Yeah.
Or maybe her son, and she's like in her 90s.
I love summer. And what I love most about summer is opening a cold can of Huzzah. But when it comes to enjoying your summer, you don't just want more, you want the most. And that's exactly what you get with Huzzah. If you want the most out of your summer, try Huzzah. It's a refreshing seltzer with benefits. Living your best life never tasted so good. It's been a perfect summer treat after a long, hot day. My favorite flavor is the juicy pear. It's so refreshing and just the cherry on top to my afternoons. Huzzah is a refreshing seltzer with added probiotics and 3 grams of sugar or less. Huzzah gives you all the benefits of probiotics in a seltzer that tastes like summer. Delish. Huzzah's non-alcoholic seltzer is chock full of gut-friendly probiotics. With 15 calories or less per can, you can enjoy every sip without the guilt. They have 3 flavors, raspberry and lemon, strawberry and hibiscus, and my favorite, the juicy pear. Put an exclamation point in your summer with Huzzah. Stock up with 20% off when you use code SITWITHUS at drinkhuzzah.com. That's code SITWITHUS for 20% off at drinkhuzzah, HUZZAH.com.
So decorating your home is always fun, but it's not always easy. That's why we're partnering with HomeGoods to give you the best tips and tricks to elevate your home with amazing items at unbelievable prices. This week, we're going to focus on texture and color and how to balance the two. Maggie, I feel like you are the queen of texture when it comes to decorating your home.
I really love pillows and blankets. I've really been focused on decorating our living room with more bold statements, rugs, accent chairs that are a little bit more vibrant in color now that we're staying somewhere permanently.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're decorating, like a permanent space, you absolutely want to have, those very neutral things, but then bring in pops of color and texture.
Yeah, we've actually been trying to find a way to make our bathroom like a little more calm. And so by doing that with a big pop of color and keeping everything else a little more neutral around it, it just has created like a nicer space to be in without having to do too much. Our bathroom is like white and gold, so we've been trying to incorporate more blue pops to kind of make it more like spa-like, a little more ocean-like.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of those pops of color, HomeGoods has amazing textural pieces like rugs that are handmade in Turkey. They have pillows that are made with all these different fun fabrics.
The most exciting thing in my household is we just got this really soft plush rug, and I love taking off my shoes and just walking along it. It's very nice.
We have a very cool vintage chair that I'm obsessed with because the fabric is this beautiful green color, but it's like a green tweed. So it's really nice to look at, and Alfred just loves sitting on it.
Oh my gosh, Becky, I love that you love vintage furniture and accents because vintage is such a good way to bring so much character into your house. And everybody stay tuned for more tips in the upcoming weeks brought to you in partnership with HomeGoods. HomeGoods, go finding.
I don't know. Nursing homes have like a really high STD rate. I think they know what to do with it.
Apparently the best
I think
sex
they know what to do with it, and I think they're not doing what they're not being safe.
Well, I mean, okay, that's a bigger question of like, elderly people. At that point, they're not worried about kids because most women that are in a home are
postmenopausal.
Are postmenopausal, exactly. And so they're not worried about having children. So, the only thing that they would be worried about is STDs, right? And maybe they don't know anything about STDs because they didn't learn about it in school, and it was never a thing. Maybe they were like, I feel like in the 50s you had like your
abstinence only.
Yeah. Didn't a lot of soldiers come back with like gonorrhea or chlamydia?
Oh yeah.
I feel like that was a thing I learned in school.
Really?
Don't quote me, but I think.
Yeah.
I think I learned it.
What class would you learn that in? Like
history?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like U.S. history?
Yeah.
Wow. That's like a paragraph in a
like
textbook somewhere.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the one sentence that everybody remembers.
Remember that from my.
It's like all of these interesting things about World War II. And then, guess what? Everybody came back with gonorrhea.
Yeah, it was one or the other.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I think textbooks are funny. Like, who wrote those textbooks?
Old white men.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they'd come out with newer editions with like maybe 2 extra pages or tables, and then it'd be $50 more.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll read one. Dear Abby. Also, how old is Abby? Is she like one person, multiple people?
I think it's multiple people. I think she like cycles.
Interesting. All right. Dear Abby, for a long time, I have been in love with a man who is 15 years younger than I am. We had a relationship for about a year, which ended 6 years ago. This is problematic. Since then, we have remained friends and occasionally hooked up a few times. The short relationship we had was close to perfect. He broke it off with me because he said he couldn't give me the relationship I really wanted, and I would end up resenting him or even hating him for it. Although I didn't understand that when he said it, I understand now that he was right. The problem is I cannot seem to get over him. I've had 2 unsuccessful relationships since. They weren't the same as it was with him, and I don't know what to do. A few months ago, I cut off everything with him, and we haven't talked in many months. It's not working. I'm still in love with him, and I can't get him out of my head. I mentioned the age difference because I had a hard time with it, but he didn't. What else can I do? I'm afraid to start anything with someone new.
Like the plot of Younger.
What's Younger?
It's that Hilary Duff and Sutton Foster show that was like on Lifetime, I think.
It's good. Season 1 was good.
It's cute.
It's a dad movie-esque.
It's not. No. It's she's Sutton Foster pretends that she's like in her 20s to get a job because of ageism.
Yeah, and I think it was like social media. It was like a social media gig, and they wanted just very young.
Yeah. Is that a publishing company?
Oh, and she was actually 30.
I think she was probably 40 in the show.
Oh, okay.
Because she has like a teenage daughter, and she does date a younger man.
I see. Okay, so what advice would you guys give? 6 years since they broke up.
It's a long time.
And he's 15 years younger than her. We're going to assume that they're of a good age. So let's say he was 25.
She's 40.
She's 40. Add another 6 years. She's 46 and he's
30.
30. I don't know. Text him. Say what's up. Say what's up. It doesn't seem like he wants to be with you, but like, I guess text him and be like, change your mind. And if he says no, you gotta just
Move on.
I feel like at this point it's
to
like,
go.
6 years is more than half a decade.
yeah, I feel
That's
like
crazy.
Like you just gotta move on.
But then she said she only stopped talking to him like a couple months ago. She cut off all connections. So I'm like, what were you texting? Were you Facebooking?
Right.
They're of the age, at least she's of the age that she would be a Facebook person.
Yeah. She also didn't really mention like, is he in other relationships? You know, she said that she had 2 unsuccessful relationships, but there's a good chance that like, you know, if he's in his early 30s, that he's like in a very successful relationship.
Yeah.
And so that wouldn't be a good situation.
No.
Interesting. I feel like 6 years is a long time to be pining after someone, especially someone who he was the one who broke it off. And so, you know, maybe I know it's like tough love, but you know, maybe try to move on.
Yeah.
And like, think about the things in that relationship that you really liked and responded to, and then, you know, make those the most important things in your next relationship. You know, look for somebody that has those things instead of looking for somebody just general.
Yeah. Maybe like close the door on it. You know, you can't have one little foot out of the door and then start something new.
Right. That's the other
That's
thing
not
is
fair.
like, if you keep thinking about a possibility with this person, then you're never going to be able to commit to somebody new.
I don't know. Get a cat. Get an animal. Put your love into something else.
Yeah.
Maybe a hobby.
A hobby? That's
Hobby?
That's
Take
a good
up
one.
a hobby.
I feel like in rom-coms, people always go on girls trips and like hook up with, they have, what do they call them? Rebound guys.
Oh yeah.
I haven't used that term in
Rebound.
a decade. A rebound guy.
Maybe
like,
download Tinder.
yeah.
People like it.
Go on a couple flings.
Yeah.
Sleep
Hinge.
around a little bit.
Raya.
Get a haircut.
Get a haircut. Oh, that's fun.
Dye your hair.
Dye your hair. Replace all your makeup. Oh, it's so refreshing.
Get new underwear.
Oh, get new underwear. Yeah. Actually,
I remember when I was getting out of a pretty nasty breakup, I hated when people were like, time. Just give yourself time.
And you're like,
that's truly
I fucking hate time.
like once you get past where you are, nothing feels better than to be like, fuck, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel nothing now.
Sometimes all you want is just like an actionable thing, you know, like buy new underwear or get a haircut. You know, like I feel like sometimes a drastic change like that, not like buying new underwear is a drastic change. Hey,
So
but sometimes
drastic.
it is. You wear underwear every single day.
Yeah.
It could be a drastic change. You know, if you change from like wearing full bottom underwear, I used to call them granny panties, but I feel like I love full butt underwear and they are not granny panties. They can be sexy as hell. You know, so maybe you change from your like, you know, full undies to like, maybe you're wearing a thong, maybe you're wearing boy shorts, you know, like switch it up. Yeah. Maybe you're getting into those cheekies. Yeah. I did like cheekies for a while. They're like half thong, half full underwear, and they showed just the right amount of butt. A little bit too much thong for me though, because it's like, why am I wearing these if
When I could
just be wearing a thong?
Mm-hmm.
Because you still get a panty line, it's just higher, right?
You do.
Cheekies. You don't know what cheekies are?
Yeah. I was you were like, it could be higher. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Higher like where? Higher like up
Higher,
here?
like no, higher on your butt.
Oh.
So say you're wearing undies with spandex or something. You know, if you have the full butt underwear, you've got the panty line basically under your butt, and then if you have the cheekies on, you've got them on your butt.
Higher on your.
Right.
I see.
Yeah. And I think that you still get like I've seen thong lines. I feel like people aren't looking quite that high for your underwear line. No. Also, who's looking for an underwear
I'm like,
line?
who's
All right,
looking?
like
Creep.
creep.
You're like,
Creeper.
oh, you're surprised I'm wearing underwear?
Is this strange for you?
It's like when people are like, oh, I could see your nipples. I'm like, oh, you have nipples too. We're all born with nipples.
You should probably
cover them. If I have to see boys'
really?
pokey little nipples all day, to deal
Really,
with
you want me
a
to cover
couple.
these very natural things?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Yeah, the other day, no, this isn't a funny story.
But you're giggling.
It's just me going to a restaurant. So I have been pumping in the car recently because it's like a very easy place to pump.
Yeah.
I've told you about this, and I always remember Maggie being like, "Oh yeah, I see people pumping in the car all the time." They're like, you know, you see them in
Bumper to bumper
in traffic, and they're just like, "Sup, girl?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been pumping in the car, and so I'll wear a pumping bra, just like for normal, because there are pumping bras out there that are just like normal bras.
And a pumping bra removes itself from its side, so you don't have to take off your whole bra to
Right, exactly.
feed
Yeah,
or pump.
or
Just a part of it comes off.
I have this like racerback one that just has like 2 layers, and you sort of nestle the thing in between the 2 layers, and there's no straps or anything. It's just like a sort of a crossy thing. It's genius, very
That's
genius.
cool.
Have you ever seen those ones that like unhook from the
those are
front. They go.
awesome. Yeah. The
Wow.
bra technology is amazing. But yeah, so I was wearing a pumping bra under a silk dress because we were going out to dinner. And I was going to pump in the car, and then I was going to change my bra into like a strapless so that you couldn't see it under the silk dress. But I forgot the strapless bra.
No.
So I had this like, big black pumping bra under this like strappy silk dress. And my options were wear the pumping bra or wear no bra.
Free titties.
And I went back and forth because, I think the only thing so I ended up wearing the pumping bra because the only thing that kept me from going no bra whatsoever was if I
You're
leaked,
pumping. Yeah.
If you're on a silk dress.
it was a silk dress.
Yeah.
That would have been, so I'm going to say mortifying.
Yeah.
But I'm also questioning myself, like, why is that mortifying? That's a very natural thing for like to be happening.
Yeah.
But also people get confused when you're like lactating, not there's a very small subset of people that understand what is happening when there is liquid coming from your boobs,
For sure.
Anywho, well, should we hear what Abby says?
Yeah.
Okay.
Abby, what do you think about
Dear
Huzzah?
Hopeless, what you're describing is painful, but it's happening to you because you haven't accepted the reason the two of you broke up. He said he couldn't give you the relationship you really wanted, whatever that was. You are not in love with this man. You are in love with the fantasy of the person you wanted him to be. Once that fact is firmly in place in your head, you'll be able to move forward, although it may take help from a licensed psychotherapist to accomplish it. Whatever it takes, please do it so you can start living your life.
Wow. Abby, this is a whole new Abby that we're seeing.
Abby, that's some good advice.
Excellent
Abby.
advice.
Yeah.
I love being free when I go to the grocery store, any store in general. I don't like to be held down by a wallet. That's why I love PayPal. When it's time to pay, why pull out your wallet or open your purse when you probably already have your phone in hand? PayPal QR code payments are now accepted at CVS stores nationwide, so it's super easy to make touch-free payments with your phone. Plus, you get $10 cash back on your first purchase of $20 or more. I love using PayPal. I love not having to carry my wallet with me at all times. It's so great, especially when I'm not fumbling through my purse trying to figure out how I'm going to pay. I just am there. I have my phone. I hit tap. It's great. Walking into CVS, it's super convenient. They have almost everything I need. I have my phone on me, so I can just do a quick errand, no fuss. To get $10 cash back on your first transaction of $20 or more, just head to your local CVS and pay using your PayPal or Venmo app. That's $10 cash back on your first purchase of $20 or more with the PayPal or Venmo app. To see terms and learn more about how to earn $10 cash back, go to paypal.com/sitwithus.
That is excellent advice.
Well-rounded, well thought out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And short and like really
Concise.
succinct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. I feel like that's basically what we said, right?
Right?
Yeah. We just said it not as concisely.
Yeah. That's because we're not writing it,
Yeah. And it's also because we're not licensed psychotherapists.
I don't think Abby is either.
Okay, here we go. De-wifing, 1991. Dear Abby, my husband went on a 10-day business trip recently, and he wrote me 3 letters. He addressed the first one to Mary Smith, the second to Mrs. Mary Smith, and the third to Ms. Mary Smith. I have a friend who studies psychology, and she told me that my husband's addressing me as he did, carefully avoiding using Mrs. John Smith, is his way of de-wifing me. I should add that when my husband returned from his trip, he was as affectionate and loving as ever, and he certainly didn't de-wife me then. What do you think of my friend's theory? Perplexed.
I think you're reading too far into it. What's her name?
Perplexed.
Perplexed.
Miss Perplexed.
Ms. Perplexed. Sorry, Mrs. Perplexed.
Ms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, unless it was typed out, he may have just like
Misspelled or something. This is her friend who put the idea into her head. I feel like you know your own personal partner more than anyone else would. So don't let other people doubt whatever's going on and question
also-
your own reality.
Also, the fact that you would read so much into it.
Yeah.
That's unreal. And also the fact that your husband would address you as Mrs. Mary Smith.
So I was just thinking about that. I assume it's a letter that he sent in the mail and not an email.
Right.
Because you have to, well, you don't have to put a title. That's why I'm surprised that he put a title.
Right. He could just say,
Like the first
Mary
one,
Smith.
just Mary Smith.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I would say maybe same advice as last time. Try a hobby. Take your mind off of this. This is not,
Like you clearly
This is not worth your mental
this is not
energy.
worth whatever stress it's causing you.
Huh, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
That's funny. This is 1991. I'm just imagining like our significant others writing us a letter. You know, I feel like, oh, okay, well, Ned recently took a trip without me. Would he write me a letter? God, no. But he FaceTimes
You
me every day.
definitely would.
But
He does
if
the new version
only-
of it.
yeah.
So if it
Yeah.
was in 1991, he absolutely would.
You think you think he'd write me a letter?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or postcard.
Yeah.
Send a postcard in
A
the mail.
telegram?
He would send you the most intense postcard that would like fold open and like,
No,
Yes.
no. He would probably send me a hilarious one with like his hand stamp. Thinking of you. No, I feel like Keith would be a postcard writer.
You did. Yeah, we have. Yeah, you've seen our postcards from when we dated long distance.
I remember.
Yeah, you helped me in because I was like, Ariel, I don't know where to put these because I liked them. And in our DIY video, Ariel was like, you should put them in this frame and then you could switch out which postcard you want to be at the top.
Cute. They were very cute.
Yeah, they were cute postcards.
Let's see what she says.
What's Abby say?
So the question is, what do you think of my friend's theory? And Abby says, not much. And if I were you, I would defriend her. I love this.
Yeah.
These are so funny.
Abby doesn't mess around. She's
No.
like, no.
I feel like I want to be friends with Abby.
Oh, yeah.
She's a solid, I feel like she'd be funny. She would have all the great advice.
What would be your question? What would you need advice for?
Oh gosh. I can't come up with one just off the top of my head. I cannot think of anything because I would want something really good, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that a lot of people send in their questions and only the good ones get in.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, dear Abby, I met a very attractive, eligible widower last winter.
Oh.
And we've been keeping steady company ever since. My only complaint is the way he keeps talking all the time about Mildred, his deceased wife. I never talk about my deceased husband. Outside of that, he is a decent man and we get along just fine. He has asked to marry me, but this is the way he proposed to me. How would you like to take Mildred's place?
Oh no.
Oh, man.
Mildred is irreplaceable.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is coming full circle because we were just talking about STDs in nursing homes. So, ladies, would you take Mildred's place?
I think I'd have to have a chat with him on how maybe, I mean, it's fine. That was a big part of his life in the past.
Right.
And you have to acknowledge that. But maybe not phrasing things in the way that he is doing currently. Yes.
Yeah. Saying if we are going to move forward with our relationship, you are going to have to address me with my name.
Yeah. And because she's not replacing anyone.
No.
It's a whole new
It's a new chapter.
new person.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think she
And it's
maybe
okay
needs
to honor past people, but maybe-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would ask for clarity on what he means by replace.
Let's see here. Dear Undecided, if he has a sense of humor, tell him that since Mildred is in the cemetery, you don't want to take her place. But if he wants a new life and a new wife, you'll consider it, providing he quits talking about Mildred. Also, the fact that her name is Mildred is precious.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I think that's a lot to ask someone to stop talking about their deceased spouse, especially
Absolutely.
since it seems like these are older
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a lot to ask.
I know. You guys know how elderly love just hits me where I live. Oh man. I'm like, I'm tearing up a little bit about this, with some of these questions. I'm like trying to keep it together, but there's just
Mildred.
there's just something about like somebody, just loving someone for so long and just thinking about them. And I know it must be so hard for him to move on from, his first wife, but like trying to move on. Oh God. He's just like an old man, like a sweet old man.
Yeah.
I'm imagining a not silver fox, like somebody
It's
who,
not Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about Pierce Brosnan right now.
We're talking like Up.
We're talking like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I cannot end the episode. I have to have somebody else end the episode because I'm like on the brink of tears thinking about the old man and Up.
you got it, Mags.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, guys, for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that automatic download button on all whatever streaming service you're using. And we will chat with you next week. Thanks so much for sitting with us.
Bye.
Bye.